Do you ever go to start your car and it won't start up immediately? It kind of lags a little bit. There's something to blame for that. That is your starter Y cable that connects your alternator to the car to your starter. There's a known recurring issue where that cable begins to deteriorate over the course of the life of the car. Obviously, it's like 20 something years old. So they came out with a new rendition of the part, and what you are going to do is replace the starter cable with this new cable. We're going to be replacing both the starter today as well as the starter cable. Very simple to do, relatively straightforward. You have to take off the throttle body, you have to take off the air intake, you have to take out the alternator, and then it's just a little pulley. But it's pretty straightforward, so we're gonna dive right into it. Step 1 is to disconnect your battery. I wrapped the battery terminals in cloth to prevent them from touching the battery while I was operating, and this seemed to work out totally fine. Step 2 is to disconnect the mass airflow sensor connector. This has two little clips on the side, you just squeeze it with your fingers. I then put it in a plastic bag to prevent the oils from my hands from damaging the pins. Step 3 is to separate the air intake from the engine. Now, I had a fab speed air intake, so this was a little different than what OEM looks like. Disconnect the air box, disconnect the air filter. As you can see, my fab speed air intake requires the removal of this heat shield, and I also put everything into labeled bags so that you can remember exactly what it is while putting it back together. Makes the process easier. I recommend you do this. Alright, now we've got the entire air intake out and the heat shield. So now we're going to go after this throttle body, take these out, unplug this guy, unplug that guy, and then wiggle that guy out of there. After we hit the starter, we're gonna have to undo this cable. This is where it connects up to the car, the Y cable, and then we're gonna have to get behind this alternator here. So we'll keep cracking at it. Step 4 is to unclip the throttle body sensor cable. Step 5 is to unscrew the throttle body mounting bolts, and this requires an 8mm with an extension. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, just unbolt them and then it will come right out. I would recommend you look up another resource if you have throttle by wire, as I do not. Step 6 is to remove the AOS line from the side of the plenum. There are two clips on the outside of the tube, and then you can just pull it right off. Make sure not to damage this, pain in the butt to replace. Step 7 is to unscrew the plenum support brackets. Remove this vacuum line as well, put it off to the side. Step 8 is to remove the plenum. Slide the rubber grommets to the side, and then you can ease it out. This requires a little finessing and wasn't super easy, but if you're patient with it, you can get it out no problem at all. Step 9 is to unbolt the starter connections. Use an extension. I required 2 or 3 of them, as well as an attachment that allows you to put your ratchet in any direction. Reach back there and unscrew it. Step 10 is to unbolt the top right starter bolt. The bottom left requires the removal of the alternator, so stay tuned for that later in the video. Step 11 is to remove the accessory belt. This is so that you can get the alternator off and access the Y cable. Step 12 is to remove the idler pulley and the alternator brackets. This requires a 15mm. After removing both of the brackets, put the top right idler pulley / alternator bolt bracket back into place. Screw it 2 or 3 times and then tap it with a mallet. This will release your alternator from its mounting position. Otherwise, it's a little difficult to get the alternator out. This allows it to slide out of place much easier. Step 13 is to unscrew and unclip the alternator. You use a 13mm to unscrew the alternator, and there's a clip on the back that you have to undo as well. You can just grab it with your fingers, squeeze it, and it comes right out. Step 14 is to unscrew the bottom left starter bolt now that you have the alternator out. Too hard to record with the big camera because I'm blocking the view of everything, but getting that bottom left bolt, you have to run through behind your alternator, above that wire, back to that bottom bolt under the starter. Super difficult, but you just have to be patient and you'll get it. Starter is officially ripped out. First off, rusting here, it looks like, here's the date. Online estimated around 2018, 2017 remanufactured date, and that's a remanufactured unit. You can see the hole that it came out of down there. Now the next step is to get this Y cable situated. Step 15 is to unscrew the Y cable from the mounting bracket and the chassis. You use a 13mm to unscrew the cable from the chassis mount. It's located inside of this little plastic box. A 10mm is used to release the bracket from the engine support. Mine was missing a screw, so hopefully yours has both. Next step is to remove the plastic housing to pull the cable through the engine bay. This can be done either by breaking it, like I partially did here, or as you'll see later in the video, you can use a cup of hot water. Step 16 is to pull the Y cable through the alternator or starter location. Here you can just feed the Y cable out from where it's located in the engine bay. Relatively easy to do. I sped up the process and you just kind of gotta tinker with it and finagle it till you can get it out. Here you can see my boot's a little broken, so it definitely needed replacing. Step 17 is to remove the plastic from the new Y cable. As mentioned, you bring the water to a boil, and then you let the plastic end of the cable sit for about 5 minutes in the water. I then recommend that you put the plastic back in the water while you're not using it. Step 18 is to route the new Y cable through the engine bay. Here it is sped up again. You just gotta put it right back to where you took the other one out. Again, be careful of the vacuum lines. It's very easy to accidentally break one. Step 19 is to put the plastic mount housing back on the Y cable. Again, it should be elastic from sitting in that water, and it should just pop right back into place. Step 20 is to mount the plastic back to the chassis. I screw it by hand first to ensure that it doesn't fall off, and then go and put it back into place. I'm still missing my second screw. I'll get another one later. Step 21 is to mount the battery line back to the Y cable. This is the main wire that runs from your battery of your car back to the chassis and connects up to the starter cable and the Y cable. Put it back into place. Alright, starter has been replaced. We just got all the screws back in. It is god-awful getting back in there and putting those in. I recommend that you put one screw up in the corner and then pivot it and then screw the other one in. That was my best method, but it took a lot of trial and error. It's a tiny workspace, but nonetheless it worked. I found out that my Y cable was the newer rendition. Alrighty, now I think that it had some corrosion regardless, but what you need to do is check for the part number inside this little thing. That is basically inside of this little thing right here, and then you can determine if you've already had it replaced or not. Yeah, you can see back there's my new starter with the new parts in it, nice and shiny, new boot. At the very least, we cleaned off the starter cable. We have a new cleaner one. The other one was gunky. The AOS had failed previously. It got oil all on the inside of the engine. We'll see how she starts up when we put her back together and see how she works. We gotta get the alternator, then we'll put everything else back on.
5 minutes later.
Now, instead of making the same mistake that I did and getting your hands all greasy, when you're putting the plenum back in, put the sleeves on the engine first. Don't put the sleeves on the plenum and then house it. Put it on the outside, push them as far back as they can go, and then place the plenum. You will not be able to get it otherwise. You have to have those sleeves off and on the engine first. So put them on there and put them on there first, and then slide them into the plenum once you house it. All right, everything is put back together now at this point. We're gonna get her booted up and see if she starts up and if everything works correctly that we just installed.
A few moments later.
Car idled right up, we're good to go. She started, no problem. Something you wanna do while you're testing this out, before you just go and start it right up, you wanna put your ignition in mode 2, which is basically just one click over, let it sit for 60 seconds. This allegedly lets the ECU pick up the new throttle body location because you have to take everything out. It will light up your dashboard, turn it off, start it up again, and then if it starts right up, idles around 1100 and drops back down to 800. You have no vacuum leaks and you had a success. And there you have it, guys. That is the entire process of getting the starter replaced as well as the Y cable replaced. Apologies for not showing a lot of the rebuild. Your body blocks the camera, and a lot of the rebuild was more difficult than taking it apart, oddly enough. Alternator is always easy, but just putting everything together is more of a drag and you're less excited to do it. So 10 out of 10 recommend doing this. My starter was failing. You could tell that it wasn't starting easily. Y cable is just a day in the life improvement, but seems to be working great. No issues at all starting. Everything's going smooth. So if you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. I hope this was beneficial to you. Don't forget to leave a comment if you have any questions, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. Peace.